let's get it. My first video. Life is hard. We all have the ability, and maybe even more importantly, the responsibility to be the best versions of ourselves, to find out what we're truly capable of. And I, for one, have not been living that life. And this is what this is about. This video right here is going to be about, and videos that I'm going to put out in the future, talking about the lessons that I've learned from life so far. And I realised that this is probably going to be mostly aimed at young men, or men in general, but also young people, or maybe not just young people, but people who want to better their lives. I understand that for me, I've got a lot more living to do, a lot more lessons to be learned, but I feel like this is a good point now in my life where I'm at to start speaking on some of those lessons that I have learned, and where I'm at in my life today. The channel, the videos that I put out are going to be based on prevention over cure, so preventing myself mostly, or how I'm working on preventing myself falling into modes and states and back into behaviours that aren't beneficial to my life and where I'm wanting to go in my life. I've got to this point through a lot of self-realisation, a lot of trying to self-improve, been a bit of an epiphany whore really, thinking that this next thing, this next book, this next diet, this next life hack is going to fix my own personal problems. And yeah, I've just basically, come to the realisation that I'm not happy in life. I don't have my defined purpose, or my goals and the way I live my life is not aligned with my defined purpose. So yeah, and I've realised that I've got to that state of feeling lost, of not feeling fulfilled in life, through taking the easy option, through taking the path most travelled, and by being a consumer, and by doing these videos and doing this channel. This is part of my process and a part of the accountability that I need to put on myself to be the best version of myself for not only me but for those around me, my wife, my close friends, my loved ones, my family. Everybody deserves to experience the best of you as a person. And yeah, what I intend to do here is talk through certain things that I've learned, whether that be from direct experiences or from stuff that I've researched, and put that out there, and in the hopes really of not attracting loads of people, because I understand a lot of people are happy with that and don't want to better themselves, but more in the spirit of something that I would have liked to have seen, and have liked to have maybe watched or listened to when I was younger, to help shape the man that I've always wanted to be. And I guess I can start off by looking at why I'm in the situation where I'm at, where I'm not feeling fulfilled, where I can see how my negative behaviours, my negative thought patterns affect those people around me. And I've come to the realisation that it's been through the fear of failure. I've kept myself very safe through life. I've not gone after much. I found myself in some very fortunate positions, and there's been certain times in life where things have aligned, like I've had successes in professional rugby, and I've met the woman of my dreams, or someone who I couldn't have really imagined in my dreams. I didn't know that women like that existed, and everything aligned, and now we're married. But there's still old behaviours and old thought patterns that come into my life which have an effect on my relationship, and have an effect on how I feel as a person, which can only have an effect on people that I come into. And fortunately for me, that relationship with my wife has been very revealing to myself, and it's pointed out a lot of where I'm coming short and my shortcomings as a man. And yeah, that will be stuff that I can get into in further videos down the line. But the fear of failure and the fear of succeeding and the fear of being seen as a failure has held me back from becoming anybody or anything really. I just kind of float through as someone who's a nice guy, who tries to be liked, who doesn't want to be hated. I'm not saying that you should go out there and look to be hated, but the fact that you care about that, the fact that I care about that, has held me back in so many situations. And it's kind of compounded, the fear of failure is compounded into just a fear of feeling fear and dismissing any situations and any potential lessons from any failures that I may have had. And it's now that when I look back and kind of stop and disconnect from everyday life and take a step back and look at where I am and how I've got here, and I see how many lessons that I've missed and how I've been rolling with the punches as opposed to throwing any punches myself and just hoping that it works out all right for me. And this is about taking back a hold of my life and really moving in the right direction. My fear of failure and my fear of fear, in a sense, has led me to experiencing feelings of anxiety and depression. It's led me to be accepting of a life that I don't like and that I don't enjoy. And in a sense, I can look and see that I'm addicted to certain things in life that I don't value. I don't want them to be in my life. I know they're not my personal values, but certain thoughts, certain foods that I eat, certain habits and tendencies that I have that I don't particularly want to indulge in. And I know it's not the best thing for my life, but yet I still choose to do them. Addictions and coping methods, in a sense. Nothing big or major, but you'll see and you'll realise that we can become addicted to anything. I mean, sugar's a big one, and sugar's been a big one for me, and it's held me back in a lot of situations. Or maybe not held me back to be so strong, but it's not had a positive effect, and it's not had a positive effect on my life. And all these things I will be going, into and talking more throughout the videos as these videos expand in whatever direction that this goes in and what it takes me on. But like I mentioned before, this is about being accountable, and this is about focusing on becoming someone as opposed to just trying to be happy and float through life and get through life with whatever hand you're dealt, but taking that hand and using the lessons that I've learned and lessons that I've learned from inspiring people in life and genuinely good examples. And now this mostly is going to come from a point of view as being a man, and for me, masculinity has been a big part of my life that has been lacking on my behalf because I've been afraid to embrace it, afraid to embrace it fully. There's a lot of talk out there with negative associations and connotations to masculinity, and I think I've completely bought into that, or I know that I've completely bought into that, and it's led me to be a shadow of the man that I'd want to be when I get to look at myself in this state now and say, what type of man would I want to be? But actually hold the mirror up to myself and look myself in the eyes. I can see that I'm not that man, and I know that I'm not that man. I'm someone, like I said, I'm someone who's taken the easy option when it's been there, the path most travelled as opposed to the path least travelled. And I've lied to myself. I've not been honest. I've lied to myself that things are right and it's okay to act a certain way. And this is about now being honest with myself and not accepting anything less than what is needed from me to be the man that I want to be for myself, for my wife, for my family, for my future children, and really getting to a place of constant progression and alignment with who I want to be. So this might be quite unclear as I'm speaking about it now, but hopefully this is just an introduction to what's going to be information based, with some stories and hopefully maybe a few laughs in there. But yeah, it's taken me 6 months to get to this point. I found every little coping method, every addiction under the sun, every reason not to find the time to make this video. And even today I've recorded this video 3 or 4 times before putting out the final video. You know, you can feel your ego. I can hear my ego talking to me, the voices in my head talking to me, being like, telling me everything of why I shouldn't do this and why I don't need to do this. But this video right now is about me putting myself out there and opening up about what I've learned, because at the end of the day, I want to be exceptional. When it comes to being myself, I want to be exceptional. I want to be a man that I know younger me could look at and see as an example. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this right now. There'll be a lot more to come. Thank you.